Hey, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
We're back at it again, huh?
Yes, we are. Hopefully, we'll be on a more consistent schedule soon, but glad that we get to jump on here and there, and get to interview cool people.
Absolutely. Yep, it's fun to be here, even though it's freezing outside. At least it's warm inside, right?
Yeah, exactly. And I'm still in my Sherpa parka thing, so it works. Do you want to show everyone your shirt? Because I think it's noteworthy. Look at
There we go.
that. Let's change shirt. Love it.
There we go.
You rep that all over the place.
And then I'm not wearing my hats, but I got this at PulseCon. So
Love it. So beautiful. How fun.
one more.
Oh, and
So I didn't get as many as Jake did. I think
I
Jake got
know.
like 12 hats or 14 hats or something like that.
Yeah.
He
If you want hats, it's definitely a good place to go. Is any of
was
the conferences.
Jake was the king of getting hats that night. When we left, he had a ton of hats. Everybody was throwing him hats. So
Yeah. We were at the Power City party. And so that it was a good place to be.
oh, it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. It
Awesome.
was.
Okay, so we have a special guest today. We have Trenton from the Verse, and
Hey,
he is the PR representation for PulseFinity. So we're going to be talking about PulseFinity today, which is really exciting. So, Drake, do you want to tell us what's going on?
oh, you can hear me? I'm not muted.
Yep, I can hear you.
Somebody's muted me before in the past, and I know it was on purpose.
No.
Hey, Dad, check it out. I had to let you see.
Yeah, there it is. Awesome.
We got great minds think alike. We knew we had to get some of the best apparel out there, and it's pretty scarce. So I'm gonna hold on to mine until it launches.
Absolutely.
Smart.
Awesome. Well, hey, I want to say thanks again for bringing us on the channel. Oh, Fashion Coder, we're starting to have a history here. Really, say we're going way back now, almost like 6-7 months ago was our first stream.
Yeah, can you believe that?
It's crazy how time flies, and then getting to meet you in person at Vegas was not something I was ever expecting, and to meet Dad right along with you, that was the pleasure.
Yes, it was awesome. Remind me, when did you start your channel?
We're coming up on a 1-year birthday.
No way.
Yes. Yes, I was going to ask you the same thing. Yeah, we started on the 28th of December, and that's when I opened the YouTube channel, and I posted my first video on PulseX. It was a PulseX sacrifice tutorial before any sacrifices had ever happened. It was the PulseX sacrifice tutorial, and it was my first video, and I sat on the next day and just drove that video on Telegram, and it hit 1,000 views, and I knew, I was like, we're on to something. Like, we're going to make this happen. So the channel has transformed in ways that I never would have imagined. Made some awesome friends in the space. And so I'm just excited to see, what else the future has in store for people that are out here like us working on Web3.
Yeah, that's awesome. Should we say hi to a couple of people in the chat real quick?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, Lazy Hexagon. Hello, hope your family is having a great holiday season. Absolutely. Good to see you. We have Joey here. Hi. Good to see you too. And then Tin Top. I actually love this. Merry Hexmas, everyone.
Hey.
Love it. Good to see you too.
Deep discount.
Yes. It's the best discount, right?
It's the best gift you could gift your family member. They're gonna be like, what is this? You bought me a just wait.
Yeah.
Just wait a couple of years.
Exactly. Last year I gave a couple of my friends PulseX as their Christmas gift. So once it does release, I'll finally give them their Christmas gift from last year.
Yo, they have no idea what they're in store for. So they got a great friend. That's definitely one of the best stories I've heard about PulseX.
Yeah, so hopefully it comes out soon, because I'm already a year late on delivering that gift.
I've got a couple of friends that I got invested at, like just small dollar amounts, and they're like, hey, so anything ever happen? I'm like, I'm still waiting for it to launch. I know it seems like I'm scamming you, but I can't do anything about that. So yeah, they should be good to go when it does a big X. So I'm not too worried.
Exactly. Love it. Okay, let's jump into PulseFinity. Tell
Sure.
us everything.
So a lot of the information that I'm drawing today about PulseFinity is straight from the Git book, man. There's no better place to really go than to the websites of these contracts that you're looking at, and read through the white paper and read through the documents that they have on the page. But we all know a lot of people just don't like to do that. And so that's really where like our channel has thrived, because we decided to just go in, break things down on a smaller level. So for us, PulseFinity is a decentralized launch pad, and it's going to be launching on Pulse Chain, and it allows users to create their own token and do their own initial DEX offering without having any coding knowledge required. So you could think about, especially when Pulse Chain launches, the hype that's going to surround it, and developers that may have never heard about Pulse Chain look this way and realize there's a middleman shortcut to jumping on the chain and being able to do it without having to deal with the coding, and using PulseFinity as an all-in-one one-stop shop to do everything that you need to launch a project. So I think that it's inevitable that it's going to get notoriety, but now's the time where not a lot of people have heard about it. And so we're just trying to spread the good message that there is going to be a launch pad on Pulse Chain, and it's going to have some great features.
Awesome. I'm excited. It's a really interesting thing, like being a developer and knowing like what it takes to do that. And then there's all these different services, just like in general, like say you wanted to make a website that allows for you to make a website without having to do the coding. And so it's really neat to see that in the crypto space already, and PulseChain hasn't even launched. And so I like that PulseFinity does that.
I think that you touched on something that I hadn't even thought about before. It's like the Wix of,
Yes, exactly. That's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah. So I'm the same way. Like I just built a portfolio on Wix, and it was so easy to use, and it was so user friendly. And I really can only imagine that that's how PulseFinity is going to be after interfacing with the UI. The front end UI is currently live, so it's something that you can go check out if you go on to the PulseFinity website. And it will be deployed on testnet after the audit. So another thing, when people go to looking at projects, they want to know if it's been audited, if the team has been KYC'd. And this project is currently under audit. So one thing to know about PulseFinity is that they actually have great relationships with some of the developers at Certic, and they're getting audits from several different companies. So they're the real deal when it comes to getting these audits, and they've done pretty much everything possible for their KYC, as far as going through Assure DeFi, which there's some qualms in the industry about KYC companies. And honestly, the truth is anyone can be a rug pull. So some of these KYC companies have experience putting them on, verifying them, and then the project's collapsing or failing. So it's kind of like this. It's a hot issue. Like, how is KYC really? How can you really verify these things? And the truth of the matter is that these KYC companies, some of them are scams, but they have gone through. They have paid big bucks to get certified through their KYC through Assure DeFi, and they're also willing, which we've been in talks this week about having them dox themselves through their LinkedIn profiles. So there's a lot of good faith surrounding their actions, and they really want people to know that they've got a great project that they're building, and that they're taking all the proper steps to be able to push this project forward and get more eyes on it, the type of attention that it really deserves.
That's awesome. Well, that's good to know. Okay, are you the founder?
I am not the founder. I am the public relations manager for PulseFinity right now. I am the founder of the Verse Crypto channel. So that is where I've been building my relationships with several different contracts, and that's where we met PulseFinity. They reached out to us to produce content for them and to basically manage their PR and create relationships that maybe they otherwise can't really think about or focus on. They're doing a lot on the back end, but the big thing is that with people on the back end, you can have an excellent idea or code, but if you don't have a way to get this thing in the light, then you may be a dead duck sitting in the water. So that's where we come in, and we want to try to put exposure to projects that we have a lot of faith in and that we believe are going to be successful on the Pulse chain.
Awesome. And this is your channel, right? This is your website?
Yes, so that will actually link you to our website, which has a link to the channel, or you can go to youtube.com/@theverse. So that'll be our handle, but those are the two ways you can go directly to our channel. And we've got about 9 videos up that break down every aspect of PulseFinity and how you can use it and how you can operate with it. So yeah, that's that.
That's awesome. Hey, Johnny. And also, we didn't say hi to Tim, even though we asked him or asked his question. And then Dad, Dad, do you have any questions? I know you're just sitting here listening.
I'm listening, and I'm also just looking at the website. So if I have that look, I'm reading some stuff. I'm going through the sacrifice stuff. That's why I was just and I was thinking I had a question for you. So you like a lot of other projects, you do have a sacrifice. I guess it's ongoing. Does it have a time frame? Is there a yield curve or anything on this? So it looks like it was just off of the amount that you sacrificed. Is that correct?
Yes. So it's going to be 100 tokens per dollar sacrifice at this moment. And I think the sacrifice is going to be happening up until the launch of the Pulse chain. And you are able to view the current sacrifices that are there as well when you click the sacrifice button on the main page.
Okay, good. And it looks like we can do USDC, ETH, Tether, Binance USD, and Hex. So we have 6 sacrifice coins, and then you just send them to that sacrifice address from your wallet,
and
not from the exchange, huh?
Yes, please do not send. Thank you for those beginner tips. I sometimes forget that. Thank you. And thank you for being observant. Yes, sitting back, listening. I want to make it clear. At the Verse, we're not financial advisors. I know Fashion Coder, I think she's not a financial advisor as well. So my thing is, I wouldn't put a SAC dollar into anything until the audit has come out. That's me being the PR guy for PulseFinity. I'm telling you right now, I wouldn't do anything until the audit comes out. But I do think that there are going to be great benefits to sacrificing to PulseFinity as far as when you start considering the staking tiers that give you more access as to what you can do in the IDOs. So now is going to be your best time to get your best rate on that. But like I said, not financial advice. I would always like to see an audit before I put any personal sacrifice dollars into anything. Another thing that I like to point out as kind of a caveat is at the Verse, we're completely fine with being totally transparent. So if you would like to see the things that we've sacrificed for or the investments that we have, you can email us. The link is on our channel, and we will be happy to send over every single project that we're a part of, that we've sacrificed for, and that we're contractualized with. So we just want to make that clear that we have not sacrificed for PulseFinity thus far, but once we see the audit is something that we're going to be willing to do.
Cool. When is the audit going to be complete, or has it started?
The audit actually started this week. So it started yesterday with CTD Sec and Securi. And there's several different contracts. There's I think they had worked up 15 different contracts throughout this. And they've got it down to 3 contracts. And those 2 of those are going to be with the CTD Sec and the Securi. So they're starting this week. So as long as it takes an audit to go that's as long as it should be. So I'm not necessarily too familiar with how long they last. So
I'm not either, to be honest with you.
Okay. Good to know.
but
Thank you.
I just want to be clear about it.
Yeah, thanks for being honest.
Yeah, we've because we've had people that want to AMA about this, and they looked and saw where's the audit. They're looking at assured DeFi, which is why I pointed these things out earlier, because I'm not afraid to. I don't need to hide from these things. We have a strong belief at the Verse that PulseFinity is who they say that they are, and that they've got a really great development team that's putting something really awesome together. So that again is not financial advice.
Awesome.
Good.
Let's say hi to a couple more people. Okay, I've been sounding this out in my head as we've been talking. Academaciated. I can't. Is that? Do we think?
So. Yep.
Okay. Hey. And then Riddick, hey from Europe. It's 2 a.m. here, but just popped in to say hi. What's up? And then Johnny said something kind of funny. So you're saying not financial advice, but $50 gets you the ability to get in early on things launching.
Yeah.
Love it.
Thank you for stating the obvious there. Yeah, you're absolutely correct.
Oh, and we got a thumbs up. And that was right. Awesome. Okay, so let's see. Question for you. So how are the launch pads important to influencers?
I think the launch pads are extremely important to influencers, especially influencers that are doing what we're doing in this space. I found your channel through watching a Richard Hart stream, and it had DeFi ladies, and you popped up, and then I linked to your channel, and I see look at this girl, she's covering all these projects, right? Well, where does she find these projects? One amazing thing about PulseFinity is if you're tied in with PulseFinity and you have PLF tokens, you're going to be getting, dependent upon what you are in your staking tier, you're going to be getting that inside alpha earlier than everybody else. So you'll know this project's coming, this is what it's going to do, this is who's involved with it, and there is a stringent process that PulseFinity is going to be putting all of these projects through. They have to go through the KYC. They have to go through the strict auditing processes that they're currently putting themselves through. So you will know what you're getting yourself into when you're looking at these projects. And I think that's why it's extremely important to people like us, because we want to be able to get in and get inside and filter things out for our audiences and then show them what we found. So I think it's super exciting for anyone who's in this space and who wants to learn about new projects. It's a great place to start.
Awesome. That is super helpful, because even just like remembering back to where I was at in that point, I don't even know how I really found the projects, because I feel like my dad would watch something and then whatever name of the project would come up, and then my dad was like, oh, you should make a video on this. Had no clue what it was until, I made the video and like did the groundwork for it. But it was a hard time where I was like, I don't know where to find this information. And so then a couple of websites, started coming out with the different projects. But this will be awesome just for that sole sense of having one place and being able to know things early on.
And I think that's important that you say what you said just now, like, expect like your beginnings are important to the whole process. Like, you started out by being intrigued in products and projects, and you offered free promotion to those projects. You weren't asked to do those things. You were, as far as my understanding, a lot of times you were being advised by Pops. Pops was saying, look into this, or just like you said, Dad was saying, check this out, or it was maybe something you stumbled upon. But it was out of the dedication that you have towards what you're doing to just give free promotion, which is the same exact way that we got started, was to give free promotion on things that we thought were excellent, right? Mm-hmm. So I think that's important that you say that, because we're not out here like some big bad wolves. Like, we started by just analyzing things we thought were good, and that's still what we're doing. We're not pushing something. We're not trying to do paid promotions. We're just trying to interact with the protocols that we think are going to be the most successful. So I think that's awesome.
Yeah, it is. All right, Max, hello.
Hey, Max.
Great. Did you meet Max at PulseCon?
I did meet Max.
Hey.
Absolutely. Yes. He was a
I
very
love
interesting guy. Very nice. Very tall.
Yes, he is tall. I have several pictures with him, and he's like all the way up here.
He's so tall.
I'm
And
so
the
short
man
too.
same. The man is very bright. I love seeing his tweets. I love seeing what he's got to say. He's come out with some great videos on Twitter and just some great points, man. He's definitely a smart guy. Glad to know he's tuning in.
Yeah. So,
Max gave me this one.
there we go. I love it. Awesome. Dad, any questions from you right now?
No, I think so far, so it's a launch pad. Let's see if there's anything else. Let me look.
I can ask another question too. Okay, so PulseFinity is made for creators. So how would it benefit investors?
Well, so it's a twofold process, which is pretty exciting. So let me just look here and tell you exactly the bullet points as to what's good for investors and what's good for developers. Developers will obviously have the ability to use the Pulse Chain token creator, and they're using what's called Remix IDE, Truffle, and Hard Hat. So any developers that are in the space probably understand or know a little bit about that already. I'm not a developer, so I do not know about those things, but those are going to be the protocols that help create the tokens. It will allow them to launch those projects to the huge network of Pulse Chain investors. It gives them easy access to audit and KYC verifications. It lets them customize their sale, create a whitelist, private and vested sales, and allows them to grow the project through the star rating system and to access growth hacking and influencers to gain wider presence. So as a developer, all those things are like checking your box as to what you need to do to try to create a successful project. That's what happens here in the incubator. It gives you all of these abilities. So I think that's a pretty cool utility for developers. But then you would say, what if I'm not a developer? Why would this project be interesting to me? It's interesting because it helps you get PLS and Hex. Who doesn't want PLSX and Hex? I know I want as much as I can get.
Yeah.
So the cool part about that is it gives you flexible staking with lucrative rewards in PLF, PLS, Hex, and PulseX. You get access to IDO sales, which is initial DEX offering sales with up to 2x to 100x gains. It gives investors a secure investment platform with thorough vetting of the DEX offering listings. So the vetting is extremely important. And now you won't have to go through channels like us. You'll be able to go through PulseFinity because they're going to say, hey, this is audited. This is KYC'd by the best of the best. And these guys have done all the due diligence that they possibly can in DeFi to prove themselves. Then there's going to be the buybacks of PLF to create passive income. So 20% of the buybacks are going to happen from the stakes. And then that's going to go back into buying into the treasury and then rewarding in PLF, PLS, and Hex. Also, you'll have airdrops from those DEX offerings, and then you'll have access to the analysis of all the projects. So then yet again, you won't need the verse because you're going to be able to go and get all the in-depth analysis as to what this is, how it works, why it works, and why we work with it. So there's going to be developers who don't make it onto the PulseFinity platform. So that's something good to know for investors, that they do have a stringent vetting process, and it's going to be not everyone's just going to be able to jump on this thing like you can just jump and build on the Pulse chain now.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. Well, that's good to know. Thanks for answering that.
Yes.
Let's see. There's a very interesting conversation going on about bidets right now in the chat.
About what?
About bidets.
Oh my goodness.
We're not gonna talk about that. Okay, so let's see here. So you did talk a little bit about KYCs and like the process that like comes with that. So is there any way that we can become more confident within this project?
Like I said, with the sacrifice phase going on right now, I would just wait at this point because they haven't announced, hey, we're getting audited. Nobody knows up until this point anything at all about audits for PulseFinity until this moment in time. So,
okay. Awesome.
When is the audit? I wish I had a more clear answer, but I do know that the audit is underway now. So, that, like I say, that is important that they finish that, and then maybe more can be expounded upon at that time about their relationships with some of the developers there over at Certic that do the auditing. They're friends with them, and so I know this, and they've created these partnerships that you can see also here on the Gitbook of the several different partnerships that they have with different auditors. So one of their, I think, main key features is that they do have great relationships with auditors, and we're going to see that coming out here in the next few months.
Awesome. Okay, we're going to take a short break from this. Okay, I will answer this question. Can we possibly expect a fashion coder coin? All right, so I've looked into doing a couple of different things. At the moment, the answer to this is no. I don't think it's something that I want to do also, or that I have the time to do. I have no clue what the fashion coder coin would be. And we actually had a discussion at the dinner table the other night about this with some of our family. And I was like, it probably would just have no utility if I came out with one.
Meme coin.
Yeah, literally a fashion coder meme coin. So I'm just going to say no at the moment because I don't think I can. I don't want to do that. So there's that. I think it would be cool to come out with a coin. I've always wanted to come out with my own clothing line. And so maybe if I come out with a clothing line, maybe I'll do NFTs for the clothes. I think that could be cool.
Hey, there you go.
Yeah, nothing that it's a no. It's okay though. Maybe eventually, but not right now.
I think you can conceptualize some utility there.
I don't know. Who knows? But it would be fun. But at the same time, I think it would be too much work for what I'm willing to put into it right now.
Who knows? Maybe someone will put it on PulseFinity for you. You'll look up one day and what's going on? There's a fashion coder coin.
Yeah,
making all this money off of me.
Yeah, that'd be crazy. Okay, next question. So, what can we do right now? I know we've kind of talked about it, but I want to go over two things. What can we do right now to be involved in PulseFinity? And then what can we do once it launches on PulseChain? So, first question, what can we do right now?
Right now, you could sacrifice without the expectation of the work of others into this project and possibly be rewarded PulseFinity on the day of the launch without the expectation of the work of others. Let me reiterate. So right now, like I said, you can sacrifice. The sacrifice phase is open, to each his own. Invest at your own risk. Never invest more than 1% of your portfolio into anything. These are the tips that I could give you for that. But right now, you can sacrifice. You can get in. To my knowledge, there's not going to be. No, I'm not going to say that. Actually, I'm going to find that out more about the time. Dad asked me about the timeline and if there was a multiplier change. So I want to make sure that I know about that 100%, and I will post that into the PulseFinity Telegram, and I'll pin the answer to that question in the PulseFinity Telegram.
Okay, and actually, it looks like it. So I'm looking at the website right now. So it says the bonus starts at 10x Finity points for the first 100 wallets you sacrifice, and then it decreases by 1x for every 100 sacrifice wallets. So like 0 to 100 get the 10x, 101 to 200 wallets that sacrifice get 9x, and then like so on down to 1,000.
Okay, if you're looking at that, I know for a fact that they just reach over 300 sacrifice wallets.
Oh, cool. Okay, awesome.
So that would put them at. Do you see what the X is there? I'm sorry, I don't have that screen pulled up.
300. Okay, 7x is right now.
So 7x there. Okay,
Yep.
So that would be what you could get for participating now with the wallets and standing where they are now. And then for you to be able to participate later, you would buy PLF when it hits the market. If you did not want to sacrifice for it, you can buy it when it hits the market. Or if you did want to wait until the audit was complete, you could also do that and buy or sacrifice for the PLF. And then you would invest in the IDOs, and that brings you to the staking tiers, which are a little bit more complex. And I have the information, but it's probably more boring than anything. So I would say if you wanted to know more about that, go onto the GitHub and read the documents for the staking tiers and features, because it's kind of the main component of the project. The basic rundown of it is the more that you stake into a certain tier, the more access that you're going to be able to have within the IDO. So if you go on there, you can click the docs button on the first page, on the home page, and you can click staking tiers, and it'll show you which dollar amount qualifies for each different tier. And then below that is a staking features buyback chart that shows you the different benefits that you get for each one of those. So that's something that I think the avid investor would like to explore for themselves, rather than have me sit here and break it all down for them. I can if you'd like, because I have it right here, but I think that'd be an easier way to go about it, just to know that there are staking tiers. The more that you stake, the more you're going to be able to do.
Absolutely. We have a couple of questions for you. Okay. Do you have a Twitter?
Yes, I have a Twitter. I am currently managing the PulseFinity Twitter. So you can actually just go directly to @PulseFinity, or you can also follow along. I'm posting everything, all the updates and all the new videos about PulseFinity at the verse, which is actually 7HE _ verse. I couldn't take THE, so 7HE. But there it is. Awesome. Thank you. So that's how you would be able to look at our Twitter as well. So either of those Twitters, you're going to be able to get excellent updates on.
Awesome. Okay. And then let's see. So is PulseFinity associated with Chaosverse?
They have made a partnership, which I don't know too much about the intentionality of what they're trying to do with that partnership, but I do know that they have created a partnership with Chaosverse. I think it's probably pretty exciting as to what they're doing, but it hasn't been my focus working with them. I'm not necessarily building partnerships right now, but I'm focused more on the media side and interacting with influencers and getting AMAs to try to get some more eyes on this project.
Awesome. All right, let's see. Okay, another question for you that's not really around PulseFinity. When do you think Pulse Chain's going to launch?
Oh, you hit me with it.
I know it's hard.
Can I answer a question with a question and say, when do you think it's going to launch?
Oh my gosh, I can never answer this question. Is the thing.
It's always wrong.
I know, I don't know. Dad, when do you think?
All right, Q2. That's my guess. That's my guesstimate. Mid-May, baby.
Mid-May, May 15th.
Mid-May.
I would be fine with that.
Yeah. At this point, like it doesn't.
I sacrificed PulseX almost a year ago now, so my patience is gone. I'm not gone, but it's been tested, and I don't even think about it anymore. I'm not thinking about Pulse Chain launch. I think it's probably been a good thing to allow all this time for developers and people to build on Pulse Chain. If we want Pulse Chain to be successful, we need people on it.
Yeah.
You have to have traffic, and it takes time to make good things develop. So I think it's all right. It doesn't bother me, but I definitely am ready for the day when I can wear this hat in public and people will be like, "Whoa, that's because nobody asks about it right now. Yeah. Nobody ever asks me what's Pulse Chain. It's just, I think a lot of people are way too sleepy. They're sleeping.
Yeah, no, honestly, it's funny. So my dad will wear his Hex and Pulse Chain shirts to the gym, and he's just waiting for someone to come up to him and tell him, "Oh my gosh, that's Pulse Chain or that's Hex."
It hadn't happened yet, has it, Dad?
No, I'm waiting.
Yeah.
And that's I'm right there with you, man. Seriously.
I'm waiting to shake. Yeah, I'm waiting to shake the hand of the next millionaire.
I love it. Well, hey, Dad, if you don't meet anybody up until that point and Pulse Chain does launch, I will fly to you just to shake your hand.
Yeah, the next millionaire. Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Oh goodness. Yeah, I'm trying to think. I haven't met anyone just like naturally in the wild that knows what Hex is or Pulse Chain.
Isn't it crazy? I did meet one dad. I was doing some teaching at a school, and he came up to me and started talking to me about Luna Classic, and I was like, I was like, interesting. This is the first person that's ever come talk to me about crypto, and it was about Luna. But then I mentioned the Pulse Chain to him, and he actually knew about it, which I was like, oh, somebody knew, but he wasn't invested. So I was like, he's a Luna Classic guy.
Yeah, he might have been listening to Crypto Banter. I know that they're big Luna people until it crashed.
Did they cover Pulse Chain as well?
Yeah, actually, Rand Nooner has him on his had Richard Hart on his stream a couple times. So, and I know he sacrificed. I know he did the for Pulse Chain and PulseX. So, but they're open, and I think one of the workers or one of the staff at Crypto Banter is into Hex and Pulse Chain. So, yeah, I think it'll be good. And it's good that we're on those other channels. So we need to be on everywhere.
As much as we can. Yeah. Again, thank you for taking us today and talking to us about PulseFinity, guys. I really do think it's going to be a solid project. I think you probably knew that when you covered it on your channel. So yeah, congrats to you for having your eyes peeled.
Oh, thank you. Okay, so where can we find you and where can we find PulseFinity?
Where can you find me? Oh, you can find me on YouTube. Where we saw, you said earlier, it's easiest just to go to theversechannel.com and click the link at the top. It'll take you directly to the YouTube link. A lot of people try to search the verse into YouTube, the YouTube search bar, and they get an Irish band or something like that.
Cool.
Yeah. So that's not me. I'm not in an Irish band yet. I do have the roots to do that if I needed to, but I'm not in any bands. You won't be able to find me if you Google us on there. And then as far as PulseFinity goes, go to pulsefinity.net. And guys, the easiest read through is the docs. If you read the docs page in the Gitbook, it's super simple to look at, understand, and realize. And be on the lookout at the Twitter, the PulseFinity Twitter for updates on the audit. So I'm in close contact with the developers. They are based in London, so they are sleeping right now. And oftentimes for American AMAs, they are asleep. We were trying to get onto the Pulse Chain Builders Guild, and we were going to have some success with that the other night, but they were not available to speak. So we're going to keep working on that, but just keep looking out for us on Twitter. We're going to be everywhere that I can possibly be within this space.
Awesome. Love it. Okay, so we always finish out all of our streams together with a meme. So my dad sent me a meme earlier, so I'll share my screen and show everyone. Let's see. I like today's. I like them always. They're always funny. Okay, can you see that? Yes. It's literally like the most relevant thing though.
That's what I said. If you guys want to know, send us an email and we'll send you the entire portfolio. That's hilarious. I love it.
Love it. Dre, do you have anything else you want to say?
I'm good, yo. I love meeting up with you. Absolutely, it would enjoy doing this anytime. So let me know. I'm here. You got my Twitter, and just hit me up in the inbox.
Yeah, if anything big happens, let us know. We can jump on even for just a couple minutes.
Yes, absolutely, will do. And always a pleasure to see you too, Dad.
Yeah, it's great to see you. I love that Christmas tree in the back there.
I was like,
nice
if it's going to be poor lighting, maybe it's a Christmas tree.
There you go.
Love it. So good. Dad, do you have anything else you want to say?
No, I think it was. Well, actually, I do. So Max said if PulseChain never launched, all those sacrifice tokens would. I know there's $650 million of stable coins, right? And he could just sell into Hex, all those other coins, and he could pump Hex like crazy, right? He could probably get it up to $10 himself or something like that. Was that what you were meaning, Max? On the just, I mean, there's that just in stable coins, so it would be interesting to see. And everything else is way down, but yeah, he could pump Hex for years.
Yeah,
but we will get PulseChain.
That brings me to one other thing that I would like to say. PulseFinity, the developers have also let me know. So even if we were to gear that question towards, say, if PulseChain didn't launch and people sacrificed to PulseFinity, what would happen? PulseFinity is not using the sacrifice money to run their operation right now. So I would assume if in a world where PulseChain didn't launch, all those sacrifice dollars would be returned to the investors because they're not using that to fund anything.
Nice.
So that's something cool to know, and a way for them, for you to know that they're transparent, that they're out here offering up information like that, and they don't mind me sharing it as well. So that's one, I guess, last thing I'd like to say.
Awesome. Well, thank you. All right. Well, everyone, thanks so much for participating in the chat. We had some really good conversation from that. So thanks for that. And Trey, thank you so much for being here today. Always a pleasure to see you. And I'm so glad we got to meet each other in person too. It's always so nice to meet someone in person after you've talked to them online. So thanks again for taking the time to be here and for talking about PulseFinity. It has been a pleasure. So thank you.
Yes, this won't be the last time. So we'll see you until next time.
Awesome.
Merry Christmas.
Yes, Merry Christmas. Bye.
Merry Christmas to y'all as well. Enjoy.
All right. Good night.